everybody, and welcome to today's episode of CCIR Student Research Spotlight podcast. I'm Nell, and it's my absolute pleasure to welcome today Lana. Lana is a university in Jeddah, and she is an aspiring astrophysicist. Um, During her time with CCIR, she worked with Dr. Alexander Mushtaqov, and yeah, I'm really excited to hear all about her project. So welcome, Lana. It's great to have you.
Hi, thank you very much. I'm very excited to share about my experience today. My experience at CCIR was very great, and yeah, I'm very much excited. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so to get started, it'd be great if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're at university, which is so you're slightly older than our usual CCIR candidates. And yes, if you could tell us like who you are, where you're based, and sort of what drew you to this research project.
I'm Lana, and I'm currently a physics junior at King Abdulaziz University here in Jeddah. And growing up, I wasn't really interested that much in science, and really my parents had expectations of me to pursue medicine. But one day, during the first week of high school, my school organized an event about the International Space Week, and my physics teacher really encouraged me to take part of it. And eventually, I just became very interested in science, actually, and in physics and astronomy. So I really wanted to have an opportunity where I can conduct research with a very leading professor in the field. And CCIR presented itself like a perfect opportunity to do so. And yeah, now I'm working with Dr. Alexander. He's very supportive and he's great. And it's been really my dream to really be able to work with a professor from Cambridge or Oxford and such. And it's really great to be part of the program.
That's fantastic. So tell us, what is your project you've been working on, and what's the title? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So my project was about analyzing and calculating the accretion disk that is being emitted by stellar black holes. Basically, what I was working on mostly was computational work. And what I've been doing is that I've been using Python to calculate and analyze the black body spectrum that is being emitted by a stellar mass black hole. That means that it's like ranging from the mass from like five solar masses to from three solar masses to 50 solar masses. And I think it's been really great working on the project because I've seen how much comfortable I've got with really computation and programming throughout the course. And yeah, during the early stages of the course, where we used to have like sessions about astrophysics and some homework to do, I felt like I've really got a very good a base or foundation of what it's like to get involved in astrophysics. And it's been really nice to apply this knowledge eventually to a research project with Dr. Alexander.
Wow, that is so fascinating, so niche. I don't know how. Yeah, I find it incredible. That's awesome. So it sounds like you really were able to like see your progress throughout working with Dr. Alexander. Then, I wonder if you feel like comparing yourself before you started with CCIR to now, how you feel like you've changed, how you feel like you've grown, um, how you feel the experience of working with a specialist in this area has kind of set you on a path that you want to be on. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. I was a bit unsure if astrophysics was really what I wanted to have as a career, but now I'm like 100% sure. So I do have like a previous experience of researching in particle physics, and I actually do have a published paper in particle physics.
Wow.
But I wasn't really sure of whether I would like to have to work on intersections between particle physics and astrophysics.
Mhm.
So after this research opportunity, and I basically joined with an aspiration of being part of a research project where I would get to explore how it's really like to do research in astrophysics. And I joined, and I really now know that as a career, I'd like to look at intersections between the really two extremes of physics and reality, the very big and the very small, and how would they come together. And I think my research really provided a nice insight into that because, looking at the accretion disks of black holes, it's really, a very exciting, and I'm just like very glad that I joined because basically accretion disks are like the only way we can actually observe black holes. And whenever we find an accretion disk surrounding a black hole, it's actually very bright. So black holes wouldn't be black anymore. And yeah, so basically, what I studied is that when we have a black hole binary, and what I focus on is that when we have a black hole and we have a surrounding object like a big star or a giant star, for example, basically a source where it can accrete matter from. So as the black hole starts accreting matter, this matter starts experiencing friction. So we have some light being emitted or black body radiation being emitted that really allows us to detect the black hole and know that there is a black hole here basically. And it's very important to study accretion disks because it gives us like very crucial insights into how massive the black hole is and to basically understand how black holes evolve. So yeah, I think it's very nice because you can really connect the big scale, astrophysical scale, to the tiny particles that are really coming together to eventually create and form the accretion disk around the black hole. And during the project, I really got the opportunity to know more about one great achievement that has been made previously by the astrophysical community, which is the two black holes that were pictured by the Event Horizon Telescope collaboration. And I think it was really beautiful because I've always had like questions: why do we see an asymmetric accretion disk, and why does it look that way? And turns out that there are many special relativity effects that were really involved that affected the whole view of the black hole's accretion disk. And it's been really just nice. And as I mentioned during the project, I really got more comfortable with coding and I got more comfortable with the maths associated with astrophysics. And I'm now in still progressing in my project. It's not fully done now. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to really connect what I'm doing with real observations of black holes accretion disks.
Fantastic. Wow. I love listening to you talk about it. I wonder, like, just it makes me think when you're talking about sort of the relationship between physics and reality and these like huge black hole expansive spaces and then the tiny little particles. How do you feel like studying this topic has had an effect on you personally? I don't know. It sounds like it must be something that shifts your perspective on the whole world and sort of on you and your personal life. And I just wondered if you think about that at all, like how it affects you personally.
Yeah, well, to me personally, I really think that studying the universe on like these extreme scales is one of the greatest privileges a human can have because it really makes us understand our reality and it helps us answer the greatest questions of humankind, like how the universe was created, how it evolved, what will happen, what are the tiniest building blocks in the universe. I think those all, like the answers of those questions, can be only achieved via looking and investigating at those like extreme scales of our universe. So I think it's just like very beautiful and it's very thought provoking and intellectually stimulating. Yet it's very unusual. For example, quantum mechanics. It's like a bit crazy, right? You cannot grasp everything right away. It's very weird and unpredictable. But I think that's a very beautiful thing, and it makes science way more exciting than like regular science. I mean, every field of science is awesome, but there is really something great about physics, especially when looking at cosmology and astrophysics and particle and quantum physics.
Yeah, something so poetic about it, I imagined. You mentioned to me before we started the call that you've been a part of other research projects in the past and are planning more research in the future. Um, I wondered how the research projects that you've already done have kind of compared to CCIR, and yeah, if you felt like having that experience helped you to come into CCIR with more confidence, and how then you feel after CCIR going to do more research, how you feel like it's helped you.
Yeah, definitely. So prior to CCIR, I was part of like research projects where I was like the only student working with a professor, or either like one student, like who was me, and multiple professors involved. And I think it was really great, you know, but my experience at CCIR was like another level because I had like other students who are close to my age who are working on their projects and who are part of the course basically. And I feel like this really allowed me to see how it's like the perspective they have as people closer to my age. And even like during the sessions, I remember in every single session, I used to ask like a question, and Dr. Alexander was very welcoming and used to like answer all of them greatly and fully. And yeah, after every time I ask, I find like some other students who are attending the course also asking questions, and I'm like, wow, that was a very great question. I haven't thought about this before. And you know, physics is always about really asking why, even if they're like kind of events that happen in our daily life, and we're just like used to it because of logic. But we really need to take a moment and really ask why. And it's just like great to have other students involved and interact with them. And yeah, I mean, it's been really great to interact with a professor from like Oxford University. It's like really one of my dream schools. And I even remember like last November, I was in Oxford because I was attending a short course on space medicine. And that was like a week prior to starting the program. And I remember sending just like an email to Dr. Alexander, hey, doctor, can I come like to your office sometime and just say hi? And he was very welcoming. And I actually got the opportunity to step into the Dennis Wilkinson building, which is where the astrophysics and particle physics are being done in Oxford. And I went into his office and we had a very beautiful chat about our project and generally, you know, how it's like to have a career in astrophysics. Getting some meaningful insights from him was really a privilege. So yeah, I think in general it was really great. And as I mentioned, Dr. Alexander was very supportive. A few months ago, I was applying to multiple summer research internship positions, and he was actually my referee in multiple of the programs. And yeah, hopefully this summer I will go and work with the LIGO collaboration, which focuses on detecting gravitational waves from like neutron star mergers and black hole mergers. And yeah, and it will be in Celtic, which is very exciting. So he was very supportive, as I said, and without the CCR experience, I wouldn't have gotten this reference or this support really. And definitely my research experience did help greatly because, you know, LIGO's work is all about understanding black hole mergers and how black holes evolve and their characteristics. And definitely my research experience with CCIR, looking at black holes and understanding what they are, helped greatly.
That's really awesome to hear, and so nice to hear that your professor's been so welcoming and supportive. And sounds like you've really managed to kind of strengthen a relationship that will help you in the future. So that's really, yeah, really great to hear. And okay, so if you have a memory that kind of sticks out from your time at CCIR or a highlight, I'd love you to share it with us.
I think it would be really meeting Dr. Alexander at his office. It was very enlightening, you know. And I feel like after that, our relationship has really deepened.
Mm.
And throughout the project, we've been really recalling some of the tips he gave me during our meeting of what it's like to conduct astrophysics research and what are the skills that one should have to be able to excel in such research area. You know, being good at computation, being good at mathematics, really be able to grasp the astrophysical and the physical, basically, concepts and logic involved with each astrophysical process. Yeah, I think this is like a great one. But I do also remember like the time we got to select like and finalize our projects. Uh, they gave us like a file where they had like titles and abstracts of each project so we can like work on them further, and just like getting the opportunity to view each project and think and uh, get the opportunity to look at different aspects of each project was very enriching. And yeah, I'm happy that I finalized by selecting a project that investigates the accretion disks of black holes, because it's really interesting and it's really funny at the same time, because I really didn't understand what's the difference between an accretion disk and an event horizon. And yeah, now I think I understand, and I understand the very crazy physics that is involved with it, because I would like to talk about one very special thing,
Yeah, please.
which is the Doppler shifting. And I think that's great because it's a perfect example of when general relativity connects with special relativity. So basically, a black hole, like a singularity and such, is an expectation of a general relativity. And for accretion disks, and that's actually the key. And one main thing that I'm looking forward to simulate, which is considering the point of view or the point of basically observation. That meaning that the way you look at the black hole from different angles would give you different like looking accretion disks and different radiation. So yeah, there's basically that Doppler shifting. If you were looking from like a 0 degrees kind of thing straight into the black hole, you would see the accretion disk perfectly symmetric. And if you were looking from the side, like from a specific angle, one side will be moving towards you and the other will be moving farther away. So you start receiving more radiation from one side comparing to the other. And that's really great because it helped me understand heavily what was going on with the Event Horizon telescope work. And I think it was really fun and great. What I've done with my project until now is basically analyzing the tangential radial velocities of the accretion disks. And what I'm incorporating in the future is that, and what I'm actually currently working on is taking into account the angle of observation and interpreting these velocities into actual radiation and emission spectrum that can be analyzed and understood.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So much of it just completely goes over my head. It sounds like you're talking another language to me, but it's fascinating. And just finally, before we finish, could you share some top tips or any advice that you have to future applicants or yeah, anybody interested, perhaps even anybody interested in pursuing a field that like physics or anybody who has a place in CCIR and is nervous about beginning, anybody basically in your shoes before doing CCIR, what would be your advice?
I would say just basically go for it and start the application straight away. You don't really have to be an expert to be able to join the program, but during the application process, you really need to demonstrate that you're teachable and that you're willing to spend like at least 5 to 6 hours a week working on your project and doing like the assignments associated with the course. And I mean, it's very great opportunity. Don't feel like overwhelmed or intimidated by the fact that you're basically applying to a position of working with an Oxford professor or a Cambridge professor. It's fine, and they're it turns out that they'll be very supportive, and they'll be very happy to work with you. So I would say just like go to the application straight away. And regarding my advice as an aspiring astrophysicist, hopefully, I think it's all about your passion. My parents really wanted me to pursue medicine, but I think me doing research after that, after my understanding or after my realization that I want to do physics and I want to do astronomy, was kind of an inspiration to them that, hey, research was really a perfect demonstration. And it wasn't only that to them, but to me, it was an understanding of a long life commitment that this is what I want to do. I really want to do research. I really want to do cutting edge stuff where I can push the limits of the knowledge of humankind. So I think really, being able to do a research project with a professor from a leading university is a great opportunity. And, it's not only to others showing them that you're capable of doing so, it's also to yourself to be able to gain confidence in yourself that you're capable and that you're able. to really do some cutting edge stuff.
Amazing. It's so inspiring. It's giving me shivers listening to you talk.
That's so kind. Thank you.
Yeah, amazing. I've just also noticed that you have the little astronauts in the background. Very sweet.
Oh yeah, thank you. They were actually gifted to me by my best friend, so I
Oh,
hold them dearly.
very special. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you and listening to your incredible project and yeah, all your like insane plans for the future. It's so exciting. And I'm really, really glad that you had such a positive experience with CCIR. I think yeah, that's great. And that's what this podcast is all about sharing that. So thank you so, so much. And yeah, I wish you so much luck for the future. Not that you need it, but yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.